This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Welcome to Football Daft. It is the daftest Scottish football podcast around. I am producer John, and let's introduce the team, shall we? First of all, let's welcome a man currently raving about the new HBO show, The Landscapers. It is Chris Toll.
Hello there.
Hello there. Talk us through this show. It's Olivia Colman's in it, eh?
Aye, but see, the thing is, I didn't realise it was a real story. I thought it was like a reimagining of the Fred and Rose West.
That's what I thought it was, is it not?
Well, that's what it was originally supposed to be, I think, but they've changed it. And it's about these two people down in England that it's just so out there. Man, honestly, it's ridiculous. It's bananas.
And now, for a man who has been spotted less than Callum Butcher has in a Dundee United top, it is Grado.
Right.
Good to have you back, brother. Good to have you back.
A wee bit
That
nervous.
new haircut that you were, everybody was throwing all over Instagram yesterday. What a babe. What an absolute baby a guy.
So where did Cian get that picture of me?
I don't know. It was on a thingy, some hairdresser's Instagram.
Aye, it's the guy that cuts my hair, Raf, Mr. Blondie's put me in one of his adverts.
Oh, has
So
he?
I'm getting sent. And the thing is, I'm doing a face like, that way, pouting, I'm trying to be stupid, but
Mate,
it's
nah,
came out
you were-
as
you
if
know,
I'm
you
trying to look good.
You were smouldering, mate.
Aye.
You were smouldering.
It's a
I
bit
think-
of a
I
neck
think-
for you.
I think you've lost weight as well, Grado. I think you've lost weight.
Well, I've went from 18 stone 2 to 17 stone 1. I've just weighed myself there 10 minutes ago.
Wow.
That's the pantomime for you. Still eating shite, but, it's because I'm throwing about wee Bob on the stage twice a day for a lot of the days. But it's good to see you.
Aye, so Stephen can't be here today.
John,
He's
sorry
been-
for interrupting you.
Yes.
You were talking about TV shows there, man.
Yeah.
I started watching this TV show. It started last week on BBC Two. It's Two Doors Down, but they seem to have cut out the best character. I don't know what the hell's happened here.
So here's a story. You've got to think about it like this too.
Right, okay.
Joy McAvoy, who plays my girlfriend Michelle,
Yeah.
Alan Michelle, she was pregnant in real life, and we filmed the Christmas special first, and then we went on to film everything else. Of course, halfway through, Joy's waters broke on set.
Oh, fuck.
You listening? So because it's only 3 episodes are in the can completely. We've done 7 episodes, but only 3 are in the can because Joy had to get a stand-in with Lassie for Barhead. And so she's obviously not doing the lines and stuff like that. She goes to the back of her head and stuff like this. I don't know how much I'm meant to be giving away here, breaking kayfabe with all 2 doors down and stuff like that. However, that is the reason why I wasn't involved in the first 2 episodes, but I will be on the festive special on Monday.
Tell me this one, right? See
Right.
if something like that happens on stage, on set and stuff like that, and she
Mhm.
goes into labour and she goes away. Does she get full maternity pay?
Oh, I don't know how that works, mate.
There you
I don't know
go.
how that was. But I was literally standing in the queue with her at lunchtime. And then after lunchtime, I went, "Where's Joy?" And he went, "Her water's broken the queue or something." And I didn't even know. She was standing right behind me.
Did no one get one of those wee yellow signs like wet forefoot? No.
No. It's too interesting to get fed. But anyway.
The thing is, John, there's always a guy walking behind any woman that's working with Grado with a mop.
So there you go, exclusive to Football Daft, behind the scenes of 2 Doors Down, what's going on, and we can expect to see Grado in the next episode, which is good news. Grado, Stephen can't be here today. Have you got any stories from the panto? Have you had a fight yet? Stephen says you've been okay because you've been in separate dressing rooms this year because of your ugly sisters and have got big costumes. Any stories to tell? Any fights yet?
No, he's just murder to watch the football with. As I said on Rangers Daft, we watched some of the Hearts game at the weekend, and you would never believe what we're up to now. I mean, I thought I was bad watching the football, but told you want to see the next game. Even the makeup artist guy was going, "Oh, they're going to be in a mood. They must be getting beat." And I'm going, "We're winning 2-0." Bob's throwing things and jumping about, and the best bit is he's standing there wearing a pair of tits and Oregano and walking about, storming about in high heels, swaggering about.
Brilliant.
We've no fell out just yet, but that's probably the reason, because I'm not in his dressing room this year.
Right.
Because he's completely opposite for me. I am a messy bastard, and he's OCD the other way. You know what I mean?
I can imagine that. I can imagine him being that type, right enough.
Yes.
So that's good. Good that Football Daft's still together, but unfortunately Stephen can't be here. So, but we'll press on. So Stephen was here last week. The boys are back in, all good. But before we get into the football, chaps, couple of things you need to clear up for the last couple of shows. Grado, you would have loved this chat last week, and I was gutted you weren't here. We were basically talking about the most you've ever eaten in one day, right? Oh, wow. Now, someone, Crumb on Twitter has weighed in here. It says, on the subject of the most you've ever eaten in one day, I once went to Domino's that was next door to a Subway, ordered a large meat pizza, and then asked them not to slice it. I went next door, got a foot-long BMT, took the lot home and wrapped the pizza around the sub and ate it as a calzone.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is a legend.
That is some heavy going, but innit?
Chris, you like your scran as well. What's the most you've eaten in one day?
See, believe it or not, I actually don't eat a lot at all.
No.
I hate when folks say that, Tom.
No, Grado, you've been out for lunch with me.
True, you're right.
Did I even make a dent in that?
No, do you know what? But I hate when you watch. I'm not saying this is you, Tom, but do you know hate when there's like right fat bastards on Jeremy Kyle or something like that, and they're on talking about like how they need to lose weight, and they go, and the best is I'm not a big eater. I'm not a big eater at all. I'm like, you're lying bastard.
Mate, honest to God, I don't know what the fuck it is with me. I think I'm meant to be 6 foot. Because if I was 6 foot, I'd be a fucking string bean. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, for me, I think it's along the same lines as Subway. No wrapped it in a pizza, but I think I ate 2 footlongs in one day.
Decent.
But, however, I've got a wee cousin, and we went to Malia, right, for a holiday one year, and he always does it everywhere he goes. He is a big eater, but he's not a fat guy or anything. He's just like a big tanky boy.
They annoy me an awful like that.
Right, and mate, he sat down and I sat and watched him eating 7 McChicken sandwich meals.
7 McChicken sandwich meals? Not just McChicken sandwiches, meals.
And do you want to know the best part is he finished it off with a double cheeseburger.
Fucking hell, Jesus. Grado, you must be in contention. You must have some days in your life when you've been out with a wrestling or what have you, and you've sat down, you've done fucking everything. When you've been in America with TNA.
Well, not so much in America, but a couple of weeks ago, I was really quite embarrassed by it. Because I finished the radio at 10 o'clock and there was these halloumi fries at Burger King, right? And they're amazing. So what I done was I came out of the radio and I drove to Kilmarnock and I went into Burger King, right? And I got 9 halloumi fries and 2 double cheeseburgers, these double cheeseburger melts. So I sat in the car park and I tanned the halloumi fries and I tanned the 2 burgers, right? And I started driving home and I went, I could go that again. So I went to the Burger King in Irvine and I got the exact same order again. And do you know how dirty I felt? And you know that way I'm hiding all the evidence of the stuff I got in Kilmarnock, you know? And you know that way I feel as if they're on to me. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, you think they'll talk to one? And they're like, oh, Grado's just been for a drive through Kilmarnock. And then somebody's like, are you seeing it in Irvine? and I do all that thing where I go, right, what is it she wants again? As if I'm all done for Stefan.
Oh, brilliant. Well played.
What is it she likes again? She likes, is it the halloumi fries?
and you call it the wrong name and all. To throw them off the scent.
It's like, I did that with Easter eggs and all right. It's Easter eggs. See, because you can get them for now, by the way, you can get Easter eggs now. Cream eggs are out. But I did that thing where, like, say it's like around like January the 18th, and I'm like, I could go an Easter egg. And so I'll end up like buying 2, and I'll be standing at the checkout and I'll be going, right, that'll do my nephew, that'll do my niece. Because I don't want to admit that I'm buying an Easter egg. But during the lockdown, just eat it. Sometimes it's breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it really, really killed me when I think about it now. Before the lockdown, I was looking great. I was stunning. Remember the pictures? I look at the memories. It was beautiful. And it's just that whole that you can get breakfast to your door, man. That's what I was doing. I was getting my breakfast, and I was going to be something for my lunch, and then at night I'll go, we'll be bag of chips.
You'd send me a picture of every order, you fucker.
Listen, if you can beat Grado or you can beat
I don't think that's the worst, to be honest with you. It happens that often that I can't remember.
Yeah, but listen, if you want to tell us what is the most you've eaten in one day, we'll keep this chat going the next week.
See, also the funniest thing ever, I remember being at a music festival a couple of years ago, and I can't remember how I was with this guy. I can't remember if it was Donington or Download. It was years ago. And see that thing what that guy's done with the pizza?
Aye.
It was a big. That's what the guy done. He fucking stood in front of me and he wrapped his pizza up like a fucking sausage roll and started eating it. Kind of like Portuguese.
It's putting me right in the mood for a pizza.
I know, we're all into it. We've been talking all about comedy hamster deaths over the last couple of weeks. We've got another one in. Do you want to hear it?
Mm-hmm. What's a comedy hamster death?
We've had this. See, you've missed all this chat, Grado. We've had lots of people. We were talking about one of the daft stories about a comedy hamster death. It was Pablo from Lark Hall who came back from the dead as a small hamster that came back from the dead. And then we got into the conversation of hamster deaths and how hamsters die in the most comical of ways. Jordan's weighed in and says, my dad used to be a manager in a pet shop and part of the daily routine was to take the hamsters out and hoover their cages, put fresh shavings and beddings in. I used to work weekends with my dad when I was about 11 or 12, and I was told to hoover my cages when my dad opened up, so I did. Pulled the hamsters out, put them in the separate queening cage. Now, I don't know if you know Chinese and Russian hamsters, but they're like normal Syrian hamsters, but just a lot smaller, right? To cut a long story short, there was 6 hamsters in the cage when I was finished, but when I finished, there was only 4. When I looked in the hoover hose, I noticed the wee face of a hamster trying to scurry out, so I helped it out. Jesus. But unfortunately, it was only the top half of the hamster that came out.
Oh my God. No.
Needless to say, I was traumatised. My dad also accidentally pulled the tail queen off a chinchilla, but that's a story for another day. So, thanks for that from Jordan. Other tweet and our correspondence that came in is from Blair Campbell, who was talking about the cock-up at the Champions League, and he thinks, Grado, that the Scottish Cup draw that you did doesn't get spoken enough after the Champions League cock-up.
No. I hate talking about that.
I've only just seen it for the first time. Right?
Really?
Do you know the shit have I not told you about it before, the shit I copped for that?
No.
Oh, it was brutal, man. See the guy that I done about Kieran? He had to message me. See the abuse I got for that? He had to message me see if I was all right.
Big Kieran Achara.
Aye, lovely guy.
So the shit, you did take a bit of shit for that. I mean, there's a couple of legendary cup draws. We obviously had the Rod Stewart one, with the cup draw that went tits up and it flashed back to David Tanner, who just never got a fucking clue what was going on. And then we had, you just wasn't bad, Grado. I mean, you just didn't know what camera to look at when you're holding up the balls.
Because what happened was, before we'd done a rehearsal, right? And the camera, one of the cameras was sitting to the right of me, right next to a big telly, and it was like you could watch yourself on the telly. So I was kind of like I was constantly looking at the wee camera, the telly at the side, and Michael Stewart and Stephen Thompson were there as well. We were having a wee bit of banter with them. And then when it went live, of course, I pulled the ball out and I went to the right hand side to see the camera, and the camera wasn't there. So then I moved it to the left hand side to find a camera there, and then Keenan's going, "Just in the middle, mate." But then obviously everybody was going, oh, he's trying to be funny. He's trying to do a Rod Stewart. And I swear down on MD's life, I never done that on purpose. And I just knew it. And I think part of the reason was because did you say the number? Or did I say the
I know you said the number. You said the number.
I remember I copped a lot because I think, say Rangers were like 18. I was like, 18!
You did.
Something like that.
Yeah, no.
The abuse I got was, I was like,
I thought you did.
I'm never doing that again.
You didn't have to throw the Celtic ball away though, Grado.
Here, see my point about this Champions League. I don't know if you're in agreement with me at all. But see, they try to make it like WrestleMania, the fucking cup draw. Or us starting and getting folk on, and it's been 3 years long. See if you just concentrate it and getting the balls right, and just here's the draw. Starting now, Man United will play, rather than we're here to celebrate this and give out awards and they can pass with that shit, can't they?
Have 2 separate events.
Aye, just concentrate on the draw.
In fact, just get the Champions League draw done in the dressing room after the quarterfinals or whatever, or after the last game.
Listen, there's an app on the internet. They can just put the teams in there. It does a Facebook draw. She does it. Takes 2 seconds.
There you go.
What was I going to say? I'm not a big fan. I see this seeded teams and all of that. See, once it's in knockout stages, it should just be every team in a hat. Whoever draws whoever. Because that's the way a cup tournament should be.
Rather than the stipulations.
Aye, there shouldn't be any sort of like you're building walls for teams like wee teams getting far.
Mhm.
You know, like say for example, like remember the year Gretna went to the Scottish Cup final,
Yeah.
right? See if that had have been like seeded, they wouldn't have been one of the seeded teams. You know what I mean? So they would have got drawn against, say, a Celtic or a Rangers or something like that earlier in the tournament. I think, see if you're doing seeded draws, it takes the, for want of a better phrase, and I fucking hate it when folks say this, but it takes the romance out of it, if you know what I mean.
Just a
Totally.
straight draw. Just get a straight draw done. All this fannying about. Just get a straight draw. Home away we go to the races. That's all we need.
In fact, even the group stages, fuck it.
Fuck it. Just a straight draw. We'll get some fucking belters. You know, PSG, Barcelona, Munich. You know,
all in the one group.
Exactly. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Sheriff, Rangers, and fucking Airdrie Town Centre.
So what has been happening in Scottish football? We're talking about it. Obviously, at the moment, Omicron is running rife across Scotland. In fact, I'm waiting on the results of a PCR test. So if it happens during the podcast, that'll be exciting. So we'll wait and see if it happens. While it's recording, if I get the results in, will John get Christmas or will he vote? Will he not? We'll wait and find out.
Here's a wee bit of COVID questions for you, John. So see, you've obviously been exposed to it and you're having to go for a PCR test. Now, do you know if that's Omicron?
No, we don't know. We don't know.
You don't. So see, so what happens with you isolating then? Because there's no thing that because Omicron's about, if you date, even if you're double vax, you still need to isolate. Or
I think if it does turn out to be Omicron, I will have to. I don't know, but I don't think it is because the person that was my close contact didn't get told it was Omicron. So I think I'm all right.
So you get told if it's Omicron.
No, but wait a minute, because my missus's pal, her full family basically got COVID at once there, and one of them had Omicron.
Oh, right. We shall find out then. So it'll be very exciting during the podcast if we find out if it's positive or negative. We'll keep you informed throughout. But Dave Martindale's come out and said that the Scottish Premiership should bring forward its January break. Dundee United had to shut down their training base yesterday after a positive lateral flow test, and are expecting the results today. Obviously, they play Rangers at the weekend, so wait and see what happens there. St Johnstone were without Chris Kane last night because he had a positive test in a household member. What do you think, boys? It kind of makes sense for me to bring forward the winter break. Just it's all going crazy at the moment. Do you think David Martindale's right?
When is the winter break scheduled for? Is it the end of
After
January?
the Old Firm. After that, the last fixture's after the Old Firm, isn't it? It's January. It's 2 weeks in January.
And how long are they Celtic players injured for?
Now, there's a good question.
you wait a wee minute here, young man, right? What you need to remember is David Martindale is a dyed-in-the-wool Rangers man. So he's not going to be saying that about Celtic first. Fuck yourself.
But I mean, the rules are currently that you know, if you have 13 players fit and
was that the rules? 13?
13, yeah. If you have 13 players fit.
Did you not see that game in France a couple of weeks ago? It was I think it was France, and one of the teams could only field 9 players,
And they went ahead.
Aye, and get this: 3 of the players that they could field were goalies. So 2 goalies were playing outfield.
You're joking?
And they were getting beat 10-0 at half time. Right, I need to look this up.
You just made this up. This is incredible stuff.
I swear to God, hold on.
Right, so we're saying Grado's saying no to bringing the January break forward. Chris is probably saying yes, so he gets the Celtic players. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could get to the point it doesn't.
Are they going to make an announcement if the game on Saturday? Because I'm kind of worried about that as well. Obviously, you don't want. I mean, look, you want it to be as fair as possible, but you know, with Rangers, we had players out for the first Old Firm game of the season. What's going to be the deal with the Dundee United game? Is it going to be like the Man U game last week? Is there rumours they're going to cancel the game, postpone it because of Dundee United's COVID situation? Is that being announced? I talk to myself here.
No, we don't know.
Sorry, I was looking for that fucking story there. I'm starting to think I have made that up, by the way.
I think you drank.
You might be dreaming about that, mate.
No, definitely no. Definitely.
And then it was 10-0, and then the goalies had to come out.
So we'll wait and see with the situation with the COVID. Last night, both the Old Firm sides in action. Rangers won 2-0 against St Johnstone. Did you see any of the game?
And no, we were on stage, but I did see the goals, and we were getting text updates. People were saying Rangers were playing some of the best football they've played since the start of the season. That second goal was tremendous. Just a pity we couldn't score more, but it really looks as if we're kind of turning it on a wee bit now, Rangers. We look completely different to how we were a couple of weeks ago when Gerrard was still at the helm. It looks as if we're buying into the mantra, as I said on Monday.
Yep, the philosophy. That was the Gio Van Brani.
The philosophy, the mantra.
Philosophy. Chris, do you see much of the Celtic game?
Yes, and I can tell you right now, Ange's ethos was definitely at play last night.
The ethos. I should have used that word. That was your wee word, wasn't it? Ethos.
My word, my man.
Here, too.
Yes.
What were you doing at Hingway? What were you doing when Celtic scored in the 96th minute last night?
Do you know?
You jumping a bit daft?
We're going to be honest, aren't we? I mean, I had to watch it on the old dodgy because I couldn't find it anywhere, right? So I was watching it on the dodgy, and yeah, it's a wee bit of lag, and I've stupidly left my notifications on for the goals. It came up, and it totally took the excitement out of it for me, to be honest with you.
I hate when that happens.
I hate that. That happened last week and all. Bob texted me saying I was watching it on Sky Go. I was watching it on my phone because I got to the pantomime early, and obviously, and I'm sitting there going, because Hearts were all ours for the first 5 minutes. What was that game on Sunday there?
Aye.
It was Sunday, mate.
Hearts game, it was on Sunday. I'm still relevant, isn't it? You know, when I'm going, because I text him going, we don't look good. Hearts look up for it. And I'm going, oh my God. And then he goes, yes. And I'm going, surely we've not. And we did get the part of scoring. It does take it off it, but at the same amount of times you get noised up with that, the delay in Sky Go or whatever dodgy stick you're watching does take it off it.
It does.
Absolutely. But I mean, there was a bit of disorder. Obviously, there was a bit of pitch invasions. A lot of people criticising that. A guy's been arrested and will appear in court later date. You can understand it. You know, at 97th minute, it just seems that every game that comes around for Rangers and Celtic at the moment seems massive, whether it's Ross County away, St Johnstone at home, just every game. Have you got that feeling as Rangers and Celtic supporters that every game seems to be massive at the pressures on both sides?
Aye, mate, see, to be honest with you,
it's been like that for the last 2 years for me.
Aye.
Europe was like a welcome distraction, to be honest with you, at times. The pressure that's on these players this season, both sets of players, by the way, not just Celtic, but the pressure that's on them is unbelievable, and it was palpable last night when Ralston got that goal at the end. It was more an outcry of relief kind of thing than it was. You understand what I mean? Like, remember when the Rangers fans done it at Partick Thistle as well back then? It's just pure. There's nothing beats a last minute goal.
I know.
I've just checked. Celtic have scored another goal. Celtic I've just made it 3-1.
I mean, there's a lot of criticism coming, but
that was a text I got earlier on. Where did the 7 minutes come from? I don't know. I've no. Was there 7 minutes in it?
Well, they scored 4 minutes into the 7th, 4 seconds into the 7th minute, right? And I believe when the linesman lifts the board up, he says there will be a minimum of 6 minutes injury time played.
So they scored on the 90s. I thought it was in 96.
96 plus 4 seconds was when they scored. So that's the 97th minute.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you need that. Chris need that at the end. So, it's still all to play.
They needed it. They definitely needed it, John.
We did.
7 minutes for it. Anyway, I can't lie, I was there.
League Cup final, obviously, the weekend. Chris, David Gray's going to lead out Hibs, it looks like. So talk's still continuing with Sean Maloney. I think there's an announcement expected today. I believe Ron Gordon's back in Scotland to potentially appoint Sean Maloney today. Chat is he'll bring in Gary Caldwell as his assistant as well. What do you make of Sean Maloney being appointed Hibs manager?
Good move. Definitely a good move. I wouldn't have been upset if he'd have been announced as a Celtic manager at the start of the season. But, you know, it's good that David Gray is leading out Hibs at the Cup final. He's not done anything since White Ladder, has he?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, what I say is, but the other night about see Sean Maloney, it's a welcome fresh idea in it. You know what I mean? It's no this fucking Jockey Scott and Malky Mackay and Morris Malpass and Ken all the old.
John Hughes and all that. All
do you know what I mean?
Ones that go round and round.
It's you know, it's you. Was it you that had a shout about Kevin Thompson being Hibs manager as well? That would have been. Yeah, I like these. I like that idea rather than the same old guys getting fucking.
Do you think? I mean, leaving the Belgium, the assistant manager of Belgium, when you're going to Hibs, you know, it's a.
Do you know what he's going to have? He's going to have a huge insight into good young players for Belgium.
Yeah, well, that is true. He'll definitely have that. So I'll be interested to see how Sean Maloney works out. If Hibs does go through for him, he's certainly got good pedigree behind him. So, yeah.
But Bob was saying, I said he was offensive the other day, but he was talking about his kind of squeaky voice. Do you think that could be an issue?
His wee squeaky voice.
Well, that's what he said. I said, you can't say that.
I said it's not done fucking Stevie any harm, has it?
Brilliant. Right, that's the football now for a daft. Here we go, Grado. I know you love this bit, so I'll let you choose the story today. Would you like to hear how Quality Street should be renamed Inequality Street? Would you like to hear about Vladimir Putin's unexpected former job? Or would you like to hear about the reality star that sells her farts?
There's only one winner there.
Let's hear the fart talk.
The fart talk, right? Okay, a reality TV star is making $70,000 a week selling her own farts to strangers. Stephanie Matto has built up an impressive following on social media after she appeared on the show 90 Day Fiancé, which I don't know what that is, but it's kind of like Married at First Sight, apparently. She basically ended up with this big audience, and then she's turned to the professional farting game. She basically bottles up her flatulence in a jar, seals the top shut, and then mails it out for $1,400 each. Right?
Wow.
Apparently, she goes through a diet specifically for this as well. She eats beans, protein, hard-boiled eggs, protein shakes, yogurts, all to build up the flatulence so she can pump into a jar and sell it. The big question is, Grado, would you consider doing it yourself?
Well, I've never been a fan of other folks' farts. I like mine. Didn't you? Everybody kind of likes their own wee farts, don't they?
You know, yeah, everyone likes their own. Yeah, it's like.
Do you like to smell your own farts, John?
How do you? No, I don't really smell my own farts, but you know when
do you get a wee fright? Do you get a wee fright when you pump? Do you go, oh? I can imagine you getting a wee fright. Oh, no. I've pimped.
Not quite. But I wouldn't consider. I mean, it depends what you've been eating, I guess. But you know, you wouldn't consider.
Listen, see the likes of this stuff, man. Fair play to her. She's making dosh. It's like see for a while. I was watching this lassie eating fid on YouTube for a while. You know, she sits and she'll say, right, give me suggestions what to eat next week, and they'll say, eat Japanese food, and then next week she'll have a big box of Japanese food. She'll be eating sushi and all that. And I think it's got to do with the sound. See the folk like the sound. Folk like the sound it. And I kind of get into it for a couple of days. I was watching stuff like that. But the farm thing's a bit. I mean, is it her farts?
Never been my bag.
Nah.
Nah, I don't. I mean, it takes a certain time, but I have to say, $70,000 a week just selling your own pumps. That's pretty.
How is there so many people that are buying these off her?
You stocking fillers for folk at Christmas and that?
So if you want your very own football daft stocking filler, we can sort that out for you for a certain charge. For Grado, you could have Chris Toll, Stephen Purden, or Grado's fart in a jar. How much are we charging for this?
Don't you fucking think you're getting away with it? You can have
yours and all. You can have mine as well. So just how much are we charging for this?
Oh, how much is she?
Jump on the Patreon. I tell you what, if you become a Patreon subscriber this week, you can choose whose fart you want in a jar. Patreon.com/football daft.
I'd say £150. That's what I sold my breeks for. Remember that?
Oh, I remember when you sold your pants for 150 quid. Aye, that's true.
Bought your pants.
I'm not getting into that again.
We won't get into that.
Anyway, I've not even washed them.
So, if you want fart in a jar, we'll deal with that if you sign up for Patreon. On the show today, we'll be playing for the Pies as usual with player profile, playoff. Big question, we're looking for your festive 11. Take 11 footballers, make them festive and put them into a team. We'll be talking about that. We'll reveal last week's swankiest moment with Eldorado Tonic Wine and get you to vote on a new one. Grado doesn't have 3 riddles, but luckily, because I've been substituting for Grado for the last few weeks, I've got 3, so I'll do the riddles again this week.
This is a welcome. Do you know what? This is good for me. I'm just easing myself back in. I want a wee shot at playing the game.
Brilliant. Well, we'll do that later on. Teammates is with Clyde One Super Scoreboard host Gordon Duncan. And we've got a busy show to come, so stay tuned. And we'll also hopefully find out the results of my PCR test.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident and it's not your fault, well, G4 Claims, they can make that process very simple for you. They can provide you with complete accident management support that you require, and they're going to recover their costs from the at-fault party. G4 Claims will sort out a like-for-like vehicle replacement, and they'll also organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned straight to your front door. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, don't worry, they're going to recover the pre-accident value for your car, write you a big fat check for it, and best of all, it won't cost you a penny as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. Now, they don't cold call, they don't buy data, and once I've processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. Nicole and the team over there, they won't take on your case if they don't think they can help. If you've been in a road traffic accident or know somebody that has, get onto G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaim.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims. And also, thanks to Nicole and G4 Claims for sending a wee baby gift through the door. I actually feel bad about it. I actually feel bad about this because they sent it to Go Radio about like a week after the Wayne was born, and I stuffed so much stuff into the back of my boot, and it wasn't until Sunday night I'm going, oh shit, there's a big bag of presents, and then I saw that G4 Claims had got my wee present, so I feel bad. So Nicole and G4 Claims, everybody there, thanks so much. Get involved. G4 Claims, not in fault claims.
Made easy.
Made easy.
If, when you honestly want to, you find you cannot quit entirely, or if when drinking you have little control over the amount you take, then you're probably alcoholic. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. If you would like to speak to somebody in confidence or come to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, please call this number 0800 917 7650. Or have a look at our website www.alcoholicsanonymous.org.uk. You are no longer alone. There is a solution.
It is Football Daft Open Line, the open line, of course, where anything goes. Who is winning the League Cup final on Sunday, Chris Toll?
Celtic!
Grado, who thinks winning?
I don't give a fuck.
It's Sean Maloney, the right man for Hibs. We talked about that earlier. And is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I've never saw it, and I don't want to get into it, but I've never saw it.
Chris?
For me, it's a movie about a guy trying to get back to his wife and Wayne for Christmas.
So is it a Christmas movie?
I think it's a Christmas movie.
What about Lethal Weapon? Where do you stand on Lethal Weapon being
Lethal Weapon's 100%. Lethal Weapon's more a Christmas movie than Die Hard is.
Right, here we go. So there's a debate for next week. Let's go to our caller on the open line today, and it is a Rangers supporter. It is Colin Peacock.
Well, Colin.
Thanks very much, guys. How are you?
Very well, mate. What are you saying to it?
No much, mate. No much. What do you think of the Dortmund draw?
The Dortmund draw?
I was getting Dortmund.
Well, do you know what? We're talking about it on Rangers Daft. I think it's another wee kind of signal that Rangers are back. I know that sounds told you'll be going to be talking about, but I mean in terms of getting a draw where we've got an elite team. We're playing.
Glamour.
It's a glamour. It's a mega glamour tie. We've had good. We've been involved with big teams in the last couple of years in the Europa League, but finally getting somebody like Dortmund, I'm just going to enjoy the occasion, man. I really am.
That's all you can do. That is all you can do. But see what you're saying there about Hangme, about like realising, right, that's Rangers back with the glamour draw. That's what all the Bodo Glimt fans were saying.
What do you think about it, Biggin?
I think it's brilliant, mate. A lot of my mates are like, no, you want an easy team. But there isn't any easy teams, is there, to be honest? You know what I mean? So you want Biggins. You want fucking that big, massive, tall guy who scores 100 goals a season to come. You know what I mean? Even if he does score 5, but at least they're still there, now, you know what I mean? But
see, as you say, but you're right, but because all the ties are difficult. See, for me, when it gets to this point with European football, it's just an added bonus because it's like Stoll was saying earlier on about how it was a welcome diversion for the league. Sometimes because I feel as if when you're watching Europe, you can enjoy it a wee bit more. With the likes of like freaking playing Hearts on Sunday, my heart was in my gob, even at 2-0. I mean, it wasn't as bad as Bauble, but because it's just every game you need to win. Europe, you can enjoy it a wee bit more. Hopefully, nobody gets injured, and the atmosphere is always superb as well. So bring it on, man! It'll be brilliant.
Hopefully, nobody gets injured in Europe. For fuck's sake, man.
Enough injuries, aren't you?
I know, mate. I think there's somebody getting into the dressing room every morning with a baseball bat.
see, how I was listening to an interview with Ange Postecoglou a couple of days ago, because when did Kyogo get injured? Was it a fortnight ago?
No, Thursday.
Right, so and they were talking about he could still play on Sunday.
Aye.
Is that going to how the fuck is that? That's like the quickest return to hamstring ever.
I know, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think he's maybe just a superhero, mate, that he heals dead quick.
Aye, so it does.
Colin, do you think, talking about
he does heal dead quick? I mean, you've seen how many times he's been hit and fell to the ground and get straight back up.
Colin, do you think if Rangers were to get, say, like Dortmund obviously have a quality side, you know, I mean, they should be a Champions League side. Do you think if they were to get pumped, that would be a big dent in confidence and kind of affect your league form, though?
I don't think so. I think see the Rangers getting Dortmund, I think Rangers could actually step up. Because I've seen it before with Rangers, Malmo and all that carry on. We always end up getting gubbed. We try and score, but we never do fucking score. And we always end up getting hammered and getting put out. But when you're playing big teams like Dortmund, they always stand up to the plate. So who's to say we see them? It might be impossible, but we could. It could happen.
I was going to say, Colin, before you mentioned that, this is going to be a huge, huge yardstick to see how far Rangers have actually came. You know what I mean? So it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting, man. Because it's exciting from my point of view, because I'm hoping that it goes to script and Dortmund absolutely fucking trounces. Do you know what I mean? For your point of view, it's exciting for what I just said. You can see how far these have actually came.
But I know what you're saying, Colin, about because it's such a glamour tie. You know, the players will be buzzing with that draw, and this is their chance as well. You know, the likes of Malmo and stuff. I mean, that was one of the worst nights in our history. I mean, honestly, at half time you're thinking we could go on and do this. In the second half, we were just absolutely red rotten. But the only thing I'm worried about as well, though, is the crowd. What's going to happen, because they know reducing allocation to crowds in Germany. They know taking it quite.
What? Well, I think this is a good thing for you, because see that Westfalen Stadium when it's full.
It's mega, isn't it?
It's super impressive, man. It really is. I've been there myself. Do you know what I mean? So
was it Dortmund you were meant to be the ball boy?
Aye.
So you are. I forgot about that too.
By the way, I got a letter through the door the other day. They wanted me to do it against Rangers.
Colin, just while we're on, we were talking about it on Rangers Daft. Like last kind of 5 games, obviously Giovanni Brown brought his last 6 games. I mean, you're unbeaten. Do you think you would have been in the same state you are now under Gerrard, or do you think?
Nah, I think with Gerrard, right? Amazing what he done. See, when he was coming to Ibrox, I was like, oh wow. It was something new, you know what I mean? Something massive for the club to get as well we wanted to be. And at the end, I just thought it was going a bit stale. If you get what I mean, it wasn't doing anything. So, Colin,
do you know what it is? Sorry to cut you off, but do you know what it was? The fear of missing, and it's still obviously we're playing with Gio, right? And we look as if we've turned it around a wee bit, right? But I think the biggest thing that we feared with Gerrard, and it still kind of hurts a wee bit, is the brand. It's the Gerrard brand. it's having Stevie G and looking down and seeing him in the touchline. You know, it was a kind of cool thing to see Steven Gerrard managing Ibrox. That was the biggest thing to get over. But speaking of the Malmo game, ever since the Malmo game, I feel as if that was a game where he'd been done. He's not got his Champions League, and I get the feeling that it was just kind of seeing out his time until something else came about, and he's went to Villa.
I think he knew for a wee while that he was going to be leaving, and I think a lot of the players had realised that as well. But with Gio coming in, I think he's made a big difference. You know what I mean? Took them back. They're playing the way with the hunger and the fight. You know what I mean? The way Gerrard did have them last year and the year before in Europe and things like that.
Here, too, let me ask you this, right? Because obviously I've not spoke to you for a couple of weeks, right? But how do you feel that Gio's gone in terms of?
Mate, I've not seen a minute.
Right.
Honestly, bearing in mind I've been moving house and all that, so the only time that I've made to watch football has been to watch the Celtic games. But you know, clearly the results are there. He seems to have shored up with defence. They're not conceding the first goal every fucking week now. Do you know what I mean? So there's, you know, all signs point to positive. But I think, like I said, a big yardstick will be Borussia Dortmund and also the Celtic game in January. It'll be a big. It's a really big game for both clubs.
Not long away now. Colin, listen, thank you so much for coming on the open line this week, mate.
No problem, guys. I appreciate it and I love the show.
Thanks very much, Colin.
Cheers, Colin. Thanks,
Colin.
pal.
Thanks very much. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that was it for the open line this week. Just a quick one. If you want to be on the open line next week, just look out on Twitter, Football Daft Pod, if you want to get on.
Football Daft's big question.
Oh, it's Christmas time. It's mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme, logs on the fire and gifts by the tree. And as it is Christmas time, we thought we'd put together a festive 11. Take a footballer, make them Christmassy. We've got your suggestions on Twitter, but we've also got some suggestions from Grado and from Chris. Grado has spent 5 minutes thinking of these, so Grado has 3 festive footballers for you. Grado.
Actually, just for 4, right, here's my first one. Claudio Reindeer.
Claudio Reindeer is good, yeah.
Ryan Jack Frost.
Yep.
Noel Hunt.
Brilliant.
I was one of mine.
Oh, he's got it, Chris is.
And then I've got Connor Goldson, Frankincense and Craig Murr.
Frankincense de Boer.
Aye, something I was trying to get a Frank in, but there you go.
Brilliant.
What you got,
Chris, what you got?
Bauble, Balde.
Balde, amazing.
That's a murder.
And Bertie Auld Lang Syne.
That's new gear.
It's still festive period, isn't it, mate?
Aye, I'll give you that.
Who you got, John?
I'll give you Bauble Malcolm. I'll give you that one. We've been inundated with suggestions from the listeners this week, however. Chris, do you want to kick us off?
Aye, no bother, John. So Jordan comes in, first of all, with Jordan White Christmas.
Yes, Motherwell striker.
Right. Lewis says Danny Manger. He says Claudio Cranberry sauce. And Turkey Soo Young.
He's got mixed up there. It's Florian Cranberry.
Yes.
That was good.
I've got from Sean Fashion Sakala la 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 la.
That's brilliant.
Andy says Ulysses
De La Cruz, ex-Hibs left back, yeah.
Dave Mack says Vladimir Weissman.
That's good. That is a double. It's a doubler.
Oh, sorry.
You're up, John.
Ross, I like this one. Elf Hadj Juf. Elf Hadj Juf is decent.
Stephen comes in with Harry Candy Cane.
Yep.
Bob says Roberto Carlos. We've
got the Crunchy Initiative. That's actually this must be from our brother because my brother runs the Crunchy Initiative. He goes, Kevin McAllister, as no Christmas is complete without watching Home Alone, of course.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Greg, this is a good one. Greg comes in with Missile Tony what?
Gavin's wrote Santa Claus in goals.
Yeah. We've got Callum with Darren Rudolph and Jason Ewell.
John sent in somebody must have been bad because he's saying Joe Lump of Cold, Santa Cazorla, and Fabian Elf.
Decent.
Simon says Rudolph Scatchel, Andy Carroll, and Jesus Navis. What's that?
Has Dennis Wise men?
Scott says Gordon McQueen's speech.
Graham says Slay Griffiths. Plus, he's got a Christmas pudding up his top these days.
Graham.
Right, and this one is a regular correspondent. Always comes in with something related to Mark Kerr. And here we go. It's from DC. Marky Christmas and a Happy New Year for his wee dog Alex Totten. He is Totten, super Totten. No one likes him apart from Kerr. He loves Champman and some biscuits, and he shites everywhere. So, always we get a nice little Mark Kerr, Alex Totten chat from DC. So thanks for that. And that is this week's big question.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
I need to tell you, using your internet without ExpressVPN is like leaving the keys in your motor while you run into the gas station for a snack. Most of the time you're probably fine, but what if you come back to see somebody driving off of your car? Every time you connect to an unencrypted network, cafes, hotels, airports, any hacker on the same network can gain access to your personal data. They can get passwords, your financial details, the full lot. It doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack somebody. Just some cheap hardware is needed. A smart 12-year-old could do it. Your data is valuable. Hackers can make up to $1,000 per person selling personal information on the dark web. Ooh, creepy stuff. Now, why use ExpressVPN? Well, it creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet. Hackers can't steal that sensitive data that you have. It's super secure. It'd take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. It's easy to use. Just fire up the app, click one button and you will be protected. And it works on phones, laptops, tablets, many more, so that you can stay secure on the go. And this is the reason why I love ExpressVPN, because you know what? Hackers out there, it's easy, as I've been saying, for them to get the passwords. You need to watch what you're doing with your passwords, right? See all this, using all the small cases. You need a small case, you need an uppercase, you need a number, and you need a special symbol. And you need quite a lot of them, because it could take you up to 30,000 years to find out your password if it's that. But see, if it's all lowercase, they can get it instantly. Whereas ExpressVPN, if you've got that hooked up, you don't even need to worry about stuff like that. So secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/daft. That's expressvpn.com/daft, and you can get an extra 3 months for free. That's expressvpn.com/daft.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
It is the Player Profile Playoff with piesports.com. They will bring you the taste of Scottish football right to your door every week if you want it. You can pick from a range of pies, a range of formations. Check out the executive box: 6 buffet steak pies, 6 buffet chicken curry pies, 6 buffet macaroni pies, and you'll get 5 bovrils with that as well. Get in.
I want to look at my belly, boy.
That is our contestant today. That is Gary. He will not need to phone 01417399999 or check out piesports.com if he wins pies on the game today, because we like to give away pies on the show. So Gary is going to go up against one of the boys. Gary, you're a Rangers supporter. How you feeling about this, pal?
I'm a bit nervous. I think I might age it, but see, my nightmare is if I get Chris Toll and he hammers me, and I don't want to let the team down.
We could get an old firm, Gary. We could get an old firm. I'll explain the rules to you. You probably know them. I'm going to read out a player description. If you know the player, you buzz in, you tell us the player. If it's the wrong player, however, you're out the game and the play continues, and it's the first to 2 that wins. But first of all, we need to find out who you're playing, Gary. I'm going to flip a coin. Heads, it's Grado. Tails, it's Toll. And tails its toe, which puts you in a rather unfortunate position this week, Gary, I'm afraid, because we're focusing on the League Cup final. So one of these players are going to be a Celtic player or a Hibs player.
Oh, I'm glad I'm the one that.
So you're up against Toe, so best luck. This is going to be a tough ask here, Gary. So fingers crossed for you. So you're playing for the pies.
Buzzers.
What's going to be your buzzer, Gary?
Says he to I, could you go a pie?
Right, okay. Chris, what's your buzzer?
Yes.
Yes, right, okay, good buzzer, right. Okay,
There's a tactic to it, John.
Right,
his buzzer takes far too long to finish.
Oh.
Right, okay.
Oh,
right.
Here, should I just put mine to 56?
Just change your buzzer to 56 if you want, Gary. Absolutely.
No, if you want to win the prize, you fucking.
Right, here we go. First player out, boys. Is ready. This player made his debut in 2019 and currently has over 30 league appearances. Hailing from Coatbridge, he is now 21 and has been.
Yes.
Chris
Stephen
Toll.
Welsh.
Oh, that is impressive. It is Stephen Welsh. 1-0. Obviously, a fellow Coatbridge boy. Right, here we go. Next player out.
Come on, Gary boy.
Come on, Gary. This player started his career at Partick Thistle before loan moves at the Shire, Ayr United and Dumbarton. He then moved to Wraith, scoring 29 goals in 34 league appearances.
Yes.
56.
I think that was Gary.
What was that, Gary?
I think that was Gary.
I think that was Gary.
All right, then.
Was it? Oh, shit. Nah, you're going to have to pass it. It's just went right out of my head.
What about if I give you his initials?
Aye, go for it.
KN.
KN. Oh, no, it's not the player I was thinking about. No, it's not. No, it's not the player.
Kevin Nisbet.
Kevin Nisbet is the right answer. 2-0 to Toe, Gary.
Oh, no.
Listen,
I think we should do one more.
One more, right. Okay, here we go. This midfielder turned left back has never left this club and has amassed over 400 league appearances winning the League Cup.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Chris, you're not even giving him a chance here. What is it?
I'm not giving him a chance.
Who is it?
After he's 56 debacle.
Right.
It's Lewis Stevenson.
It is Lewis Stevenson. Right, come on, Gary. Right, I've got one more player. One more player.
Come on, Gary.
One more player. You can do this, Gary.
You can do it.
Eye the Tiger. Right, here we go.
What about name one Hibs or Celtic player? Let's try and do that.
Yeah. See, as a Rangers supporter, we're not focusing too much on both clubs. That is very, very difficult. Like,
can you not remember the Hibs team that turned you over a few weeks ago? No.
Yeah, but what about yesterday? Well, Ross County just about turned you over last night. But
At the end of the day, all that matters is the 3 points are on the board, Gary boy. 3 points are on the board.
Right, Gary, come on. Right, we'll give you one more.
Gary,
Right,
right. Just name one football player.
Right, okay.
Right, starting from now.
Right, this player started at Ashdod, breaking into the team when he was 17, but is now 30 years of age, having spent the last 8 years in Scotland. He has made over 200 league appearances and won 7 Premiership titles, 4 Scottish Cups and 5 League Cups. He has 37 caps for Israel.
Oh, God.
Come on, Gary. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. 37 caps for Israel. He's won 7 Premiership titles, 4 Scottish Cups, 5 League Cups.
He looks like Mr. Bean.
He looks like Mr. Bean. His name sounds like
Benjamin Button.
Beer Seaton.
Beer Beaton.
Yes!
Yes!
Well done, Gary boy.
Well done.
I can't believe that was the question for the prize.
Yeah, listen, even though I've got the booby prize, I didn't feel as much as that.
Well done, Gary.
Oh, Christ.
A 3-1 victory to Chris Toll. Chris, what, are you going to keep the pies or are you going to give them to Gary?
You know what?
Christmas time.
Tis the season to be jolly.
There we are.
And I will be much more jolly now that I've got pies to eat this week. I'm only joking. They're yours, Gary boy.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you something. It's honestly been a pleasure. I mean, you can't. I was just saying to the wife there. I love every single minute of coming on the podcast. I really do, boys. It's been absolutely superb. And I was going to ask a wee quick question, by the way. I was going to see. Well, obviously, it's going to depend on how busy everybody is. But I was going to invite you onto the Rangers podcast.
There's Toe going it. Podcast. There's Toe make a wee appearance on it.
I'm renovating a house, mate. I've not even got time for this podcast.
Listen, mate. I'm the same. I'm doing radio and panel and try to do this. But see, in January, once it's all stopped, I'll come on it for you.
Listen, that would be absolutely superb because I mean the whole thing with that. I mean having a guest on like yourself as well. That's bloody tremendous.
Right, get a wee plug for it. What's it called?
It's Four Lads Had a Dream podcast on TikTok.
Gary, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Been great fun having you on, pal.
It's been a pleasure. Listen, thank you to all you. It's been absolutely tremendous. Thank you very much.
Very much, Gary.
It was a pleasure, man, honestly.
Remember, if you want to get pies, just like Gary's just sorted himself out there with, head to piesports.com now.
It's now time for Grado's 3 riddles on Football Daft.
Do you know what? I've been in radio a long time. Over 20 years. That is the best jingle I've ever heard in my life.
Better than the kitchen. Is it the kitchen warehouse for families go?
Oh yeah.
Better than this one.
Families go.
That was a good one. Remember this one? Need more blood. You remember that one?
I do remember that one.
Remember I.
Give blood now.
Give us a shout. What was your favourite radio jingle? We'll do that next week. It's that point in the show where we get your minds working with 3 riddles. They're guesses to footballers. Play along wherever you are. You might be in the car. You might be listening to this on a train. You might be listening in your house. You can play along as the boys play. Before we start, though, congratulations to everyone who got last week's riddle correct.
Have a bash at it to see if I can get it in 10 seconds.
I've not seen it.
You've not seen it, right?
Were you on last week, too?
Chris wasn't on last week. Do went on, Grado. See, you can get first in with this one. The Life of Basmati. Declan
Rice.
Brian Rice is right. First in with the correct
answer. That's a good one.
This week was Ali McDonald, so he goes on to the leaderboard. The current leaderboard stands as follows. Chris is on 21, I am on 17, Stephen is on 11, Nicola Purden last week with a fantastic performance is on 1, Ryan's on 1, Jack's on 1, Ian Meiko's on 1.
Nicola's on 2.
Oh, Nicola's on 2 actually, you're right. Jack's on 1, Ian Meiko's on 1, Ryan Barr's on 1, John Mitchell's on 1, Albert's Legends on 1, Declan Ramage is on 1, Pat the Pallet Prick is on 1, and Ali McDonald, new on the leaderboard, is on 1. Right, boys, are we ready for this week's riddles? Because Grado forgot to write them, so Grado gets to play the game for the first time ever. He is the master of the riddle, so I'm expecting...
Can he really cheat in this, can't you know?
No, I'm expecting good things from you. Chris is obviously top of the leaderboard, looking to add to his score, but Grado, I expect you come up with these riddles. I think you'll get these straight away.
Right, okay.
Right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
First riddle is, message to this person sounds like a holdall. Message to this person sounds like a holdall. I should actually say message to this footballer sounds like a holdall. That sounds better.
Message to this footballer sounds like a holdall.
Message. It takes a wee bit of thought, this one, actually.
Message to this. Sender us.
Oh, that's decent, but it's not right. Sounds like a holdall. This is quite tough when I'm rereading this. This is a really tough one.
See, that's what happens, isn't it?
Right, let's put our head together here, Greg.
Right, let's work this out together, then. That's a good idea.
Sounds like a holdall.
Right, what's words for a holdall? So a bag.
Satchel.
Satchel,
Ready, Satchel.
Yes!
No, I said it before you said it.
No, you said Rudy. You just said Rudy.
I mean, what I meant.
Rudy Scatcho, obviously, Message to Rudy by The Special. Sounds like
Never heard of that song in my life.
You never heard Message to You, Rudy? Oh, what a song.
No, I would never have got it through that.
Well, but there you go. Rudy Scatcho for that one. Right, here we go. Next one. 1 point to Chris there. This saint has a problem. This saint has a problem. Oh, this is tough as well. I must have been steaming when I wrote these, by the way.
This saint has a problem.
Peter Pollock.
Oh, you've got the first part.
Peter.
Has a problem.
Peter.
This Peter has a problem. A problem.
What's an R name for a problem?
I don't.
So that's why I'm saying I must have been steaming when I wrote these, because it's not anything to do with another word for a problem. It's just a stupid.
Peter Hitch.
No.
I don't know.
Peter.
But this is tough, guys. I'll have to admit. I'll hold my hand.
These are ridiculous.
I'll change the clue. I'll change the riddle to this saint is from Texas.
Peter Houston.
Yay!
Oh, that was a good one.
Wait a minute. Houston, we have
Houston has a problem.
That's a good one, actually.
Right, okay.
You done it right.
Right. I'm sorry, Grado. I'm making a tit of your feature. I'm really sorry for this.
That's not the psychology yet, but anyway, keep going.
Right, okay. Right, last one. Short Alexander is in the rough. Alexander is in the rough.
Alex Sands.
No.
Alex Grass.
No.
Short Alexander is in the rough. Short.
Is it Alex somebody?
It's Alex something.
It's not Alex.
No. Short Alexander. Xander Diamond.
Yes, Grado! Yeah! Well,
Diamond in the rough. Well played.
Diamond in the rough. Brilliant. So, Grado, that you got a point?
I'm sure did I know you Xander Diamond a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, did you? Oh, right.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So well done, Chris is up to 23 then. Grado's on the board with a point. And we have a riddle for the punters for next week. Get on Football Daft Pod, get on YouTube now. If you're listening to the podcast, be the first one in with the answer. You'll get on the leaderboard. Penis is making flour. Penis is making flour.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Gentlemen, it is time for the Eldorado Swanky Moment of the Week. Remember, as we always say in Football Daft, ask for LD at any swanky bar. Easy to drink, short, fruity, finish with a trace of caffeine. Beautiful. They're doing this mulled Eldorado wine. Check out their socials at the moment. I'm going to give that a try over Christmas because it sounds pretty good. You'll get Eldorado at your local convenience store. You can follow them on Facebook. Hit up Eldorado Tonic Wine on there or on Insta, or check them out, eldoradotonicwine.com. Celebrating the swanky taste of Eldorado every week on Football Daft. We pick out our swanky moments from Scottish football. We get you to vote them on Football Daft Pod on our Twitter page. The results from last week are as follows, guys. In last place, poor Nicola Purden's choice of the Sex and the City spin-off, and just like that, only got 4%. So,
you ever watched Sex and the City too?
Aye.
Do you like it?
Seen every single episode.
Have you really?
Have you really?
And the two movies, mate. Aye.
Would I like it?
Mate, it's absolute dog meat. It's a lot of shite. I watched it all under duress.
Right, okay. Have you not watched the spin-off then, the new one yet, Tone? No?
Mate, I can't cope with them. Honestly, do you know what they are? They're the worst of society. They women. The absolute dregs of society.
The worst of society. So there you go. That was Nicola Purden's choice in last place. Stephen's choice last week was, and I'm surprised this didn't win, judging on our audience, he went for Lee Griffiths coming out of retirement and that got 14%. So that was third choice. Second choice, in second place, it was Ewan Cameron being owned by Livingston. That was my option for last week. that didn't quite beat our winning choice this week, which was from our listener on Twitter, Vertical RM, who put up the clip from the West of Scotland League when 10-man Blantyre Victory tried to break up field on the counter, only for Irvine Meadows sub to take out 2 men at once. And we called that one the 2-man takeout, and that got 45% of the vote. You can see that video right now on the Football Daft Twitter. So well done on the win. But let's pick out another bunch of swanky moments for this week. Grado, you're only back this week, so let's get you to choose first. What's going to be your swanky moment of the week?
Well, I wouldn't do this any justice, but Sergio, fucking, how do you say? Sergio Aguero has retired from football, and I thought I'd maybe pay a wee bit of tribute to the boy, because I can't do him any justice, but I know somebody who's more talented at talking about statistics and Fitbit. He's a 12-year-old boy. He's just about to become 13. I am going to be taking a line of Chris Toll's son, Cian. I want Cian to basically tell us what happened when Sergio Aguero retired from the football game.
This isn't fair.
How?
I'll tell you this. I better get a fucking chance with Perry and get her to give us a story one day.
You'll be waiting a wee bit of time, mate.
I'll pass the help.
Right. So thank you.
Okay, so here we go. Cian Toll is going to tell us why Sergio Aguero is the swanky moment of the week. Cian, why is Sergio Aguero deserve to be the swanky moment of the week?
Because he's retired.
So tell us about what happened. The news coming out of Barcelona yesterday. Did people expect it, Cian?
He had some heart problem. I can't remember how what happened, but I think he was playing and a monitor or something was going off, and it was going, oh dear, this isn't looking good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he got subbed off, and everybody was just pure surprised.
No, is there any sign of it being COVID related, vaccines or anything like that? Can you confirm anything like that for us, Cian? No, you can't confirm that. No, you can't confirm. And did you manage to catch the press conference where he said that? Have you saw any footage of?
I actually haven't. All I've seen is a picture. Pep Guardiola was there, which is cool.
So he made the flight out to go and see Sergio.
Aye, to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm. And do we know if he's got any plans, or going to Largs to get his badges or anything like that to become a manager? Is there any talk of that?
No, I don't think anything's been said yet. But see if you're him, I don't think you're wanting to push yourself through anything so quickly. I think if something big like this has happened, I mean, you've just stopped being paid $300,000 a week. I think you'd like to have a nice wee break for a wee while.
Aye. Go on holiday for a couple of weeks or something like that.
Aye, enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, amazing career, Sergio Aguero. 508 league appearances, 282 goals, 101 caps for Argentina, 41 goals. Probably go down, Cian, would you say one of the best number 9s of all time, or he's certainly up there, is he?
Aye, I'd say that he's up there, especially for this generation. Like,
I'd
say it goes, for me, it goes Lewandowski, Suarez, then him. For my generation.
Oh wow, he Suarez is above him. All right,
Suarez is
interesting.
I think Suarez has become the second top goal scorer in Barcelona history, but that doesn't matter. Aguero is still up there. He's a spectacular player, and it's a shame that he's away and he's left.
Well, there you go. Vote for that's Cian Toll, everyone.
I mean, I couldn't have said anything like that.
Fantastic.
So there you go, Cian. Thanks very much.
So there you go, Cian Toll.
I'll get you a wee bit of chocolate. Tell him I'll send him a wee bit of chocolate.
There you go.
Grado says he's going to send you an Easter egg.
So there you go. Sergio Aguero is Grado's nomination for Swanky Moment of the Week, and thanks to Cian there for filling us in on the details of that. Chris Toll, what is your Swanky nomination?
I'm not even going to lie to you. That was actually going to be my nomination.
No, right, okay.
So, is it really?
It was. I'm going to need to think up with something. You give yours now, John.
Right, I'm going to give you. I've got two options, but I'm going to go for this one. After the Champions League cock-up, with the draw we talked about earlier on, Stenny tweeted out the following: "We are pleased and confused to announce that we've been drawn away to Real Madrid in the Champions League in the round of 16. # We Are Warriors."
I saw that.
Good banter for Stenny Muir there. So I am going to nominate Stennis Muir in their Champions League round of 16 draw for my Swanky Moment of the Week.
Right, I know it's supposed to be football daft and it's better to be based in Scottish football, right? But I'm actually going to go with the cock up for the Champions League draw, purely because that is potentially the last time you would have ever seen Ronaldo versus Messi. And they had to scrap it because the draw was all fucked up.
Wow.
So,
Aye.
That's a good one.
My swanky moment of the week is UEFA getting fucked over for trying to fuck everybody else over.
Right. Okay.
I've just realised that this might be this could be football related, but this has just popped into my head. Who I spoke to this week?
Right.
I made contact and spoke with David Snedden.
David Snedden of Fame Academy fame.
Yes, Dave Snedden of the Fame Academy fame. I spoke to him this week. We done it on the radio because I thought, what's happened to that guy? Because remember, he won Fame Academy.
But he's a writer now.
Here's the deal, Toe.
Right, okay.
He has wrote for the top dogs. He's wrote for Lewis Capaldi. He's writing for a One Direction boy. He's been involved in so many hit number ones. And it's funny because why I wanted to speak to him was because I actually met him outside Ibrox in 2003 when we drew Man United in the Champions League, and he was kind of invited along. I don't know if he was on the pitch and stuff like that. It's funny because I thought you would have maybe picked up this toe when I said David Snedden, right? But he was outside Ibrox and folk were asking him for autographs and stuff like that. And I had my mom. I phoned up my mom from my mobile phone. I went, Mum, I'm with David Snedden. And he went, all right, hiya, how you doing? He's all this kind of thing, right? And see when I get him that night, right? Know what she says? Can you guess what she says?
Who the fuck's David Snedden?
No, she went, oh, how did you manage to meet him for High Road? Remember there was a David Snedden to the High Road?
That's right. Oh, man.
Brilliant. So do you want to change? You want to stay with...
No, keep I did. What would they? No, you don't need to put that. It's no Scottish
Right, okay, right, that's fine, right. But that's a nice story about David Snedden there, Grado. Thanks for that. Right. And this week's listener nomination comes from Regan Chapman. I don't know if you boys seen this. This was Streatham Rovers Twitter, right? They put out a team sheet, right? Basically, they've tweeted, here's the team sheet for tonight's game, and we're absolutely furious because Sydenham have fielded their players to spell out SRFC are shit. We know this for a fact because Dane Francis, a striker, is wearing number 3. Hope the league committee throw the book at them for this. So they've basically numbered their players to spell out SRFC or shit on the team sheet. That is genius.
They've not actually made a complaint about that, have they?
I think they have.
Right, well, you want me to burst your bubble here?
Oh, what are you going to hit me with? You know,
this was in 2019.
Oh, was it?
And to me, I feel bad for spoiling it, but I reckon this is a work.
You reckon this is a work?
I think they've went, let's get together and make something funny for Twitter.
Why don't we see if we can look up what the score was and all that, and if they had an actual complaint raised with the FA?
Aye, it happened in 2019.
Oh, Grado, that's really busting my bubble because this has just went viral this week, I think.
Oh, really? It's went viral.
So, that's really disappointing that I've found out for 2019. But listen, we'll put it forward for the listeners' swanky moment this week. That's from Regan Chapman. So, we're doing some investigating before next week's show. We'll find out what the score was in that game, and if it was what we're calling the wrestling business a work. That's something that's pretend. So,
he's trained for a couple of days to wrestle Lord Provost, and he's saying what we call in the wrestling business.
Have you been training, John?
No, I've not been training. I've not been training for anything. Right,
John,
anyway.
You showed me the pictures of you jumping up and down on your bed.
So that is your nominations for the swanky moment of the week. Grado, what is yours?
Sergio says, cheerio, away you go.
Christo, what is yours?
UEFA making a rip-roaring arsehole of it.
Mine's is Steny versus Real Madrid, and from the listeners, it's SARFCR shit. Get voting on them right now. Head to our Twitter at FootballDaftPod. Get voting for your swanky moment of the week, and remember, Eldorado Tonic Wine, Scotland's own, is now Football Daft.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Remember, you can get more content now for Football Daft. If you head to our Patreon, it's basically a content service which we provide. You'll get extra content from the show. You'll get the video version of this podcast so you can see Grado's swanky new outhouse. You'll see Cian Toll giving his thoughts on Sergio Aguero. You get all that by checking out the video version. You also get up there the outtakes. You get the chance to be a pundit on Rangers and Celtic Daft, and the video versions of those shows as well. So you get all that, chance to get cameos from the boys. We need to get some cameos on the go in the next week. Well,
whose birthday is it? Is it nobody's birthday?
I know, you can get a cameo for...
Does nobody want us to do a wind-up video for their mate or something like that?
Exactly.
I guess Steve Austin's birthday today.
Is it Steve Austin's birthday? Well, if Steve Austin wants a cameo from you guys, he can do that by signing up to Patreon. Patreon.com/football daft. Get lots of content up there. Pick what tier you want to go on. You'll also get up there all the teammates from all our former guests. But we like to give you a wee taster of what that might sound like. And this week, it is Super Scoreboard host Gordon Duncan.
Worst dressed.
Oh, wow, what a competition, because Gordon DL comes in like a frustrated gym teacher, you know, like the sort of like baggy navy trackies.
He sounds like that. I can imagine him like that.
Very dim, he's like leisure wear, and he's had a couple that spring to mind. By the way, the standard isn't very high, so I could pick anyone, but I do remember a couple of sort of baggy navy tracky bottoms, then the kind of stripy polo shirt, like the only thing missing is the whistle.
Aye.
And he's got that sort of creepy edge like PE teachers have as well, so I'd need to go him.
I can imagine that. It's a bit like, remember when you'd have like a sports day at the school, or like a sponsored walk, and the English teacher would turn up in their gear that they wear outside the school, and it was atrocious. A bit like that.
A pair of Dunlop trainers on.
It's going to be him. I think I'm going to twist every answer to make it.
Moaniest.
Ooh, God, that's probably him as well, by the way.
Is it?
Depending what context, like in and around the show, it probably is him. But then, like, having played football with some of the guys, like, playing five-a-sides with Alex Ray and stuff, wow, what like, the guy's just an absolute animal, like, as you would expect.
Aye.
It's ridiculous, like, he takes it so... I mean, Alex must be, like, in his 50s, and he would, you know, that kind of phrase, but kick your granny, like, he totally would. Aye. So
I remember me and Grado played in the Legends game at Ibrox, and I was in Alex Ray's team, and we went out to warm up on the pitch at Ibrox. And obviously I'm surrounded by all these fucking legends, man. I'm kicking the ball, so we're just warming up, and we're passing the ball to Alex Ray, and he passed it to me, and I passed it back, and it was my first touch.
Oh, no.
And he actually grilled it, and he's like, calm down, relax. I'm like, aye, alright, man. And then I'm just kind of like jogging away from him because I don't want the bogey.
See, that freaks me out. But you know what, here, I can't remember who told me, right? But somebody told me, Gordon, that they play football with you, and they say you're right into it. You're mega hard to go along with. You're quite... you scare folk.
See, I certainly don't think you scare folk, but I would admit that. See, if I had to hold my hands up to one character flaw, it probably is that I can't. Do you know what? I can't stop talking, see, when I'm playing football, so I'm moaning at somebody.
There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. That's good.
I don't really moan at other people anymore because I've really realised that I'm not very good either, so I wouldn't do that. But sort of amateur referees and stuff, it is verging on like a Tourette's, I'm honest. I'd rather stand and argue with the ref in the centre circle than
So I would love to see you playing fives and Alex Ray get the ball and you're like, fuck's sake, Alex, come on,
No, see, that's the thing, I wouldn't do that, but I do talk a bit too much on there probably, but he's a different level. He's
aye. I mean, I remember one time at the end of a game, I played with Alex Ray and I went to cuddle him, Ken, and he was a bit like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like, right, chill out, man. I was kind of sorry, apologising for trying to cuddle him. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think he's a cuddler.
Who do you want to back you up in a fight?
Jim Duffy from the Super Scoreboard team, all day long. All day long.
That was right away, by the way, wasn't it?
Aye.
No hesitation. Do you remember him and Neil Lennon?
Yes, I watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Right, but I mean, I feel bad saying it, but I'd love to have seen it play out. Imagine it just got to go.
Aye.
And I think Neil Lennon can probably go as well, but I'd go for the Maryhill brawler.
My money'd be on Duffy as well.
My money's on Duffy, I know. I remember as well the press conference after that. I know he was kind of... That was, oh man, that would have been brilliant for that.
Well, like the waistcoat and everything, the three-piece suit on.
That's right.
I got sent to them because they actually played each other again only about 10 days later at Caplo, and I went to.
Because it was a replay, wasn't it?
And it was like all eyes were on it. You know, it was going to be this big deal. It was going to get there early, like filming it, and because of the way Caplo is, like Hibs had to arrive and walk right up the touchline, and Duff was just waiting at the end of the tunnel, and everybody's thinking, what's going to happen? And in the end, they just did a wee cuddle, and that was it. So whatever.
Best looking?
Oh, you must be joking from the Superscoreboard. Absolutely.
Go to the shock.
Oh, aye, absolutely.
He's cute, you know what I mean?
Aye, in a kind of grandpa way, he's cute.
Aye.
Well turned out, very presentable. He's always got a collar on. He's eventually ditched the tie after many years, but you know, wee scarf, wee corduroy jacket, aye. The only thing I would say, I mean, I would never go as far as saying he's good looking, my God, but Mark Wilson's got better with age. When I see pictures of him when he played, he looks ridiculous compared to what he looks like now.
Especially with Healy Hansen on there all day, mate, in that menu.
That was brilliant. I was in notes of that last week.
There's a bit of context as well. The boy's been in touch again, and he sent me like the full menu. So whatever this Indian restaurant in Cumbernauld is, for some reason, a young Mark Wilson's on the menu, and he's with like it's Michelle McManus, Eric Bristol, the darts player.
Eric Bristol.
Teacher's pet?
Hugh Keevins and George Bowie are the only people that can do whatever the fuck they want in Clyde 1 and get away with it, no doubt whatsoever. And a quick story to underline that: the old gaffer at Clyde 1, sadly no longer with us, said that his one golden rule, above swearing and above anything else, was don't say that Santa's not real on the radio, right?
That's right.
And Hugh, in a way that only Hugh can do, decided to say it one night. It didn't even have anything to do with anything else. A guy had phoned in about, my wee man's gutted because, I don't know, Rangers lost at the weekend or whatever, and Hughes went, tell him Santa's no real. And I have no idea why he said it, but
that is a pure ringer, I've heard that.
That was me. I'd have been job centre.
Aye, he's got a lot of credit in the bank, Hugh, but hasn't he?
Aye.
Who never gets the round in?
Oh, by the way, that would be a competition, because I think Hugh. I would go for Hugh because he's Lord Lift. You know what I mean? He can't drive, so he's forever getting people doing his favours and lifting and laying him. So he would fall into that. And DL's bad for a bargain. He's the type of guy that would go into. I know you can do this in like a market or whatever, right? But he'll go into like an established shop like Asda and just ask for money off some.
Aye.
That's both my life. I'm like, the price is on it. Like I don't get that. Like he will not take the price. So it needs to be him, I think.
Biggest bam up merchant?
Hugh. Yeah.
Hugh is, isn't he?
Aye.
He's brilliant on Twitter, by the way.
He's good on
He
Twitter.
is.
He's really good on Twitter.
Like you were saying the other night, man, he went viral with that. Was it the Jordan White tweet? That was brilliant, man.
But then, why are you so specky? Was it because I have...
Aye.
Just bad eyesight was all he wrote.
Bad eyesight?
Just bad eyesight.
Fuck.
Top shagger?
You.
Aye, you. We'll go for you.
Apart from Hugh, that's the obvious one. I mean, it would be ridiculous of me to ignore 4 Wives DL, wouldn't it? I mean, what's the reason for that? I mean,
4 Wives DL.
In fact, no, he's looking for number 4 or something like that. So aye.
Best you've played with?
Well, that's got to be Hugh to an extent, to be fair.
Aye.
But that doesn't mean... but you know what? Sometimes I do love arguing with him and think he talks rubbish at times. But if I had to pick one of them, it needs to be Hugh. He's the godfather, isn't he?
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
So that's it for this week's Football Daft. Thank you very much for listening. We were a man down. One of these days, boys, we'll have the full team back together. I
can't ever see it.
I would think in January, once the boys have finished their panto, we'll have the full team back together.
Hopefully next week. I mean, the only problem is, what date's next week? The 23rd and the 24th? What we doing? Are we stopping for holidays or whatever?
We're going to have 2 weeks off over Christmas. We're going to have a winter break, and then we'll come back for the old to do something special off the back of the old firm. But yeah, Stephen will hopefully be back for our Christmas edition next week. In the meantime, check out Rangers and Celtic Daft. You'll get them on a weekly basis. Remember, sign up for Patreon if you want more content. Patreon.com/football daft, where you'll be able to see the video version of this. And get us on social, Football Daft Pod on Twitter, Football Daft Podcast on Insta, and just Football Daft on Facebook. A couple of tasty games this weekend. Obviously, Chris, it's Celtic versus Hibs, the League Cup final on Sunday. What are you thinking of that?
2-0.
2-0 to Celtic. In the
I never said that, John.
All right, okay. This is true. In the Premiership, Rangers against Dundee United. Grado, obviously.
Well, if it goes ahead, it'll be a tricky game, and obviously want to bit of payback for the game at the start of the season. So,
yeah,
very much looking forward to that. A welcome 3 o'clock kick-off as well, I'm sure.
Aye, 3 o'clock on Saturdays are 80.
Makes sense if it's me.
There's a right battle at the bottom. Livingston versus Ross County on Saturday. That's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Ross County are good. Well, obviously they were unlucky to lose against
John,
Celtic.
St Johnstone are in trouble.
They are. Well, they've got Motherwell are at home to St Johnstone this weekend. So again, that's a tough game. Motherwell.
Hampton told him being the manager of the year, boy.
Davidson.
Aye.
That was last season, mate, when they won 2 cups.
But yeah, I mean, they obviously lost. They lost Jason Holt. Who else did they lose? They lost Jason Holt and the other good player, the other midfielder.
F.A. Ambrose.
They've still got F.A. Ambrose, haven't they? But yeah, they've lost a couple of good players, and yeah, they're struggling a bit this season, bottom of the table. So that's a big game for them against Motherwell on Saturday. In the Championship, Partick Thistle Wraith looks like a tasty encounter. Montrose versus Queen's Park, second versus third in League One, and Stranraer versus Kelty Hearts in League Two. So
what have Arbroath got this weekend?
Falkirk have got this weekend. We have got, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but it's Martin Rennie's first game in charge. Kenny Miller just confirmed it as Falkirk assistant as well.
Happy with that, John?
Happy that Kenny Miller's come in. Martin Rennie, be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what that is. He's only on a 6-month deal until the end of the season. He's come from the MLS. He's managed all over the place in like Korea and all these kind of places. It's a few years above me at school, so I'm just a bit worried that
that's the oddest description of a manager I've ever heard.
Isn't it?
But it's an interesting appointment. It's not one I'm 100% behind, but listen, if he does the job and can get us winning again and try and
Well, if nothing else, mate, he'll take the heartburn away.
Hey, there you go. So that's it for this week's Football Daft. Thank you very much for listening. We'll hopefully have a full team, a full squad back next week. And yeah, see you on the next one.
Audio Frontier.